This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. And yeah, so last session we were discussing about so the Jenkins. How do you play with your Jenkins and how do you write your Jenkins files? Based on your logic, you just choose your options from the so the Jenkins file from the Jenkins documentation, and you kind of build up that, right? So now, yeah, so we don't need to really stick with Jenkins. We can go back to our Azure DevOps and we can deal with there. But our scope now is we have our environment, and so when there is a change, how do you apply that particular change to our environment is matters now. Okay, so for an example, basically here, so what we're actually going to do here is let me go to not read. Let me go to Azure DevOps in the meantime. So first, let me bring up the VPC. We'll talk about only one component. The remaining components, you can just do that. You know that what to do. Or probably we can just enhance that. I can go to Azure DevOps releases, and over here, and not here. Let's go and put like only VPC create a release. Let's do that. Once after this is done, we'll go with the front end. And if we make some change, an AMI should be created. Okay. And whenever the AMI is created, okay, so then what it has to do, that AMI should be applied to the auto scaling group. Okay. Now, how do you do this? How do you do this? So that's the thing we're going to talk about now. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be a little lazy session because yeah, we just wait for the AMIs to be created. And that particular process is basically, and we so we'll tell to the auto scaling group, hey, I made some updates, can you apply those updates? We tell to the auto scaling group. Okay, so how do you do this, the whole? So that's what we're going to do now. Yeah, first thing, so first thing first, basically, I think I just better this, let it better first do it VPC creation, then we'll see. Yeah, so this is done. So let's quickly go and create the VPC. Front end related also. So front end, the AMI yesterday was a failure. It seems. Just go with the creator release. That's okay. The AMIs, I don't want it. I just want only the Deo to be deployed. So what is the error? Your query has no results. Seriously, don't have an AMI. Front end, it is there, right? TF underscore var underscore component is front end. Okay, what is the problem now? Var okay, so var dot component hyphen var dot app underscore artifact underscore version. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, so now what is the app underscore app underscore artifact underscore version? How actually it is getting it? Let's take a look. So you go to the variables, you'll be having app artifact version, and you'll be calling that from front end. If you just go into the front end, so I think the environment will not have that app artifact version. No, it will not have that. And you go to the variables, app artifact version is there. So that means somewhere from the pipeline only you should be getting that. Okay, so let me go to the task. Let me go to the Terraform apply environment variables. You're actually taking nothing. Yeah, tf underscore var underscore app artifact version is equal to release artifacts app underscore build number. Okay, now I'll actually deploy it. I will choose my artifact. So here you see this 0.0.21. It doesn't have it. Okay, I'll go with a new release. I'll get a new release, and I will say that you just deploy it with not 2221. It actually do deploy it with 0.0.20. Okay, don't take the latest version. So that's what I'm keeping. Okay, so the front end part is done. Now the things comes into picture. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to trigger basically a new release, sorry, new pipeline. Okay, so front end I am going to make some change. So cd repo citt 3 cd PowerShop project cdrs hyphen front end ls git space pull. If we make some changes, anything, no, git space tag hyphen list. So you have these things, right? So uh, git space tag, so 0.0 like let's say I'll go with some 22. Okay, git push hyphen hyphen tags. Now you push the tag. So since there is a tag push, a pipeline will run now, of course, right? A pipeline will go and trigger the release as well. Okay, and the release will find that there is a new tag came in, and it starts making the AMI, and it makes the AMI, and that particular AMI version will be taken and applied to your auto scaling group. Let's see, but there won't be any changes it will impact. Okay, or there won't be any changes it will come. We want to so apply some changes. Let's see step by step. So first let's complete the CI part. There is an error. This agent login is actually people are yeah. This agent login is actually failing. The same error yesterday we have seen, you remember something, we got it right. So yeah, even a couple of students also already reported on the chat. Okay, it's not working. Okay, we need to find it out the solution for this. Okay, so what to do now? Let's find it out. Okay, so hmm. So we can't do anything. So basically, let's take a machine and so let's kind of play with that machine. So let's go to launch instance, and we will say hmm. Yum install Ansible. Okay. First of all, let's deal with this agent login. Okay. So then we'll think about how do we automate through Ansible. Yeah. So first thing, install agent CLI. Agent CLI. Go with that, and you should say you're using CentOS. Okay, and it's actually going with whole Python 3. Okay, agent CLI. That's the problem. Actually, the conflicts are actually coming from there only. Okay, fine. So now what actually install? Um, so install RHLs or other systems without Python 3. From source, we have to do that. It takes longer time. Okay, all right. So that's okay. Now aged DevOps login. So it actually asks for yes or no. Just give yes. And it asks for some token. So the token, I think yesterday we made this. Let me regenerate the token. Copy that, paste it. Now it was throwing that error. Like this is the error you're getting, right? So hyphen debug, if you do token u, okay. So type pip, so mv slash bin plus hyphen lf slash bin slash pip. Okay, mv slash bin slash pip 2 slash bin slash remove that file rm hyphen f slash bin slash pip file. You remove that. Okay. So now actually uln hyphen s of slash bin slash pip, pip 3 goes to slash bin slash pip. Okay, that's the first thing. And the second thing, he's already using the Python 3. Okay, so that's the thing, you do that. Negative, again error, unable to use a credential. Warning. So the same error for the package. Okay, this guy also should use a pip3 actually, and he's using pip in between. Okay, so let's try it manually, like however we had done yesterday. So now I will say pip3 Okay, it might be somewhere using the Python 2 also. So type of Python 2 or Python rm-f Python. So ln-f /bin /python 32 /bin /python. Okay, so I'm just thinking this, but no. So this is the trick. Yesterday we did it. So you upgrade the pip and then it starts working. Okay. So then now if you go and try to give directly this guy, it's still failing. It is failing manually if I run. Yeah, manually if I run for first. Yesterday it was working fine. Then I kind of do it after that. Just might be working. Okay, right. So if I remove debug option and you do this, it's working. This is how it is working. All right. Now, so what is the changes we need to make? But let's say if I go to CentOS, like let's say agent space DevOps space login. Okay, so it actually downloads the extension and asks for the token. Again it will fail. Okay, so actually you need to give pip install too much output. So install this one and hyphen user is already satisfied. Hmm. Okay, let's try this debug token. It's actually a failure, and yeah, the same command. Yeah, so all we need to do is something. Okay, let's find it out with another machine again. So I will just go with no, I'll just reiterate the steps because we did so many things, we don't know what's really happening out there. So that's where I would say, first of all, actions, instance settings, no, image and templates, create, launch, more like this, everything is going to be same. Okay, so first thing first, I will go with sudo su hyphen, and so I'm going to go for the agent CLI setup anyhow. So just go and do this. Okay, so Azure CLI installed, and pip install pip hyphen hyphen upgrade. So first I want to upgrade the pip after installing Azure CLI. Okay, and after that, so what is the thing I need to do is, if I am going with su hyphen CentOS user, like let's say as a CentOS user, so what I wanted to do is so like let's say I just want to go with download the Azure extension. Okay, so Azure DevOps login. So this command requires Azure DevOps extension. So install Azure DevOps extension. So Azure, I think we are already doing that with our code. Okay, let me go to the Ansible. Let me go to the Ansible, RoboShop, roles, common, and tasks, and with Azure artifact. So what we're actually doing, delete, create, install Azure CLI. So this is the one, and libicu is something. Yeah, Azure extension add Azure DevOps. So this we are already doing it. Okay, so now echo that particular path, whatever we have here, give it pipe Azure DevOps login you're doing. It's failing, right? So now what actually is the command I'm supposed to run? This is the command I'm supposed to run it manually. So here also it is telling the pip space install pip upgrade. Oh, okay. So I had to replace my pip with pip3, right? Okay. Pip3 install pip hyphen upgrade. So now you try this. Yeah, it's going on. So the next command which I'm supposed to run here is this one. Okay. So a couple of commands I just need to add here as a part of installation. So after installing Azure CLI this extension, so then the next one is this. And so what I wanted to do here is this one. Grade pip. So which is a shell command. And I'll say pip pip install pip hyphen upgrade. Okay. So then so install keyring pip module, and it's actually going to be a shell command. You deal with this. Okay, then you go with Azure Dev, so pat login, it is gonna work. Okay, so let me push this and let me try it on the server side by taking another server. Okay, so let me go to instance, launch more like this. Okay. And also quite important thing, so here actually is not the home CentOS user is actually here. So here actually it is going to be is I think be user, become user. Okay, so this is the one, sudo yum install So now what is a command it runs? Let's go to here. Ansible pull localhost, this one. Probably it fails with one variable. Okay, it's already there. Okay, what is this? Did I give only the pip upgrade? Pip 3 install. Okay, it's not pip 3. Okay, upgrade pip is skipping because the agent CLI is already installed. So yum space remove azure hyphen CLI sudo. So sudo su hyphen and su hyphen roboshop. Hey, where is roboshop user? Okay. I'm just running it in a little debug mode. Let me see what's the command actually it is trying to run. Okay. It's actually becoming a slash home slash this one. Okay. Okay. Can I use the home directory variable? Mm, I just want to check it out, like, so this home directory is actually the root home directory is slash root directly. It's not b user. Okay. So, but other components, it's actually slash home slash b user. Okay. This is the small change. It is there. Um, okay. So what I can do is, um, okay. So access shell variable in Ansible playbook. Accessing shell variable in playbook. How do I do that? Okay. So accessing local environment variable. So this is what I have to do. Okay. So lookup of env and which is a home. Okay. Are also the home variable, the home variable where and return slash root the home variable from the VM. If it does not exist, does not fail. Okay, I can just use this. Our whole work actually has been bypassed due to this error. Yeah, so something is happening. At least configure pat is actually done now, and actually it is downloading the artifacts. Okay, cool. And I would like to go and kind of create a new release for this once again. It will create a new AMI now. Okay, so just go here and create a release and create it. Yeah, it's done finally here. So let the image happen. Yeah, it went to download artifacts. So the major thing we need to understand in the meantime here is, let's go to the auto scaling group. So the auto scaling, not even auto scaling group, actually, you're going to go for the launch templates. Okay, so the launch template is actually going to tell you that you have a front end related one, but there's only one version, right? Yeah, let the AMI happen, and then it goes and applies the the latest configuration. It applies the latest configuration to the template, and that's where the second version of template comes into picture. And when the second version is coming into the template, what auto scaling actually is doing. Okay, let's understand that. Okay, so that leads to the release strategy which actually we want to follow. So it's just only the installation. Now it will go and create the AMI another 4 5 minutes. So the AMI is done almost. So now it moves to the next phase after deletion of the resources. Okay, cool. It goes to the next stage, which is it is going to apply to the dev, and here it is going to be faster only. Okay, so this is done. Now let's observe the launch template here. Previously it was 1 1. Now you try to refresh, it becomes 1 2. Now it become 1 2. So that means is it changing anything on the so I mean instances side? No. So this instance is still the old instance, and also if you go into the auto scaling group, so actually if you see the instance activity, still it is only one instance. I mean there's no activity here. Now here there I have to tell to my auto scaling group, hey auto scaling group, we have a new configuration loaded. We have a new configuration loaded. Can you go ahead and so launch instances with the new configuration? So that's what you're going to tell the instance refresh option. There is something called as instance refresh. So this is a very new option which came like last year, I think February March last year only it came. Okay, prior to that not even March or Feb. I think sometime in June, July only this option came out. Okay, so which made our life really easy, because earlier we used to handle our own automation. So now actually it can take care of the things. Okay, so now what you have to do is you have to tell the start instance refresh. So start instance refresh. So the minimum health percentage, okay, at least the health percentage of the desired capacity of the auto scaling group must remain healthy during the operation. So that where okay, I want to maintain so 100% availability. Okay, so that means if you maintain 100% availability, the new instance will be launched and then the old instance will be terminated. If you just little bit decrease, because we are maintaining only one instance, if I say 90%, so then it will kind of destroy the old instance and make it. Okay, so because there is only one instance, it has to do that way. Even I'm not sure 100% what it does, but that's okay. So let's click on start. So this I can automate actually in the pipeline. So what is the next step I have to do for the deployment changes is I have to do an instance refresh, and it's going to be a little bit lazy only. Let's wait for actually this come to an action. So what it does, let's see. So now actually it is still doing the same thing. So minimum if you maintain 2 instances only, you'll have the availability. Okay. So it is actually shutting down the old instance and is actually launching the new instance. Okay. So one instance, it cannot help anything. Minimum if you have 2 instances, so then it will try to maintain the capacity, and it will go accordingly. Okay. So yeah, our strategy basically has to be minimum 2 instances are there, then only the strategy will work, and you can say accordingly basically. Okay, so let's wait for that. And so the new front-end dev actually, which is going to come up with the instance summary, the instance details. So you see the AMI ID. So this is the AMI ID, and the AMI name is 0.0.22. So the new image actually it is using, and it is coming. So all we need to do is we just need to keep some automation, or so keep our pipeline. So stating that you create an instance refresh. I think for instance refresh, Terraform doesn't have an option yet. Okay, so Terraform doesn't have an option yet. So we need to go with some kind of AWS CLI only, no other option. Okay, so let me go here, go to the pipeline front end, and I would edit this, and I would say dev. So it is having some problem. Okay, which is fine. So this is actually going to the so task groups in the backend. So Terraform apply, if you go there, Terraform apply. So you have this, and go to the releases, go to the front end, edit. What is the agent we're choosing here is agent is Ubuntu 20. So let's degrade this to 18 because we are going to use AWS CLI. AWS CLI on Ubuntu 20 is having some issue. Okay, so we'll just go with this one. Okay, so now what I will do is, I'm going to use AWS instance refresh. Okay, so instance refresh command is there. So let me get it from my previous batch somewhere. Pipelines. God. Uh, I think I might have changed them for the Kubernetes rather than creating a new one. Okay, we'll just go with AWS AWS ETC, EC2 ASG instance refresh CLI. Start instance refresh is the option which we have. So just give start instance refresh and the auto scaling group name. Okay, and that's it. So here, if you come down, you'll find out an example, and here's the one. Go here. Yeah, so instance refresh, auto scaling group name, and the preferences, the instance warm up, you can keep like 300. The minimum percentage you want to make the healthy is 90% or whatever it is. Okay, so my auto scaling group name, and which is my hyphen ASG. So which is actually going to be is auto scaling group, which is going to be front end hyphen dev hyphen ASG. All right, so how would I say front end hyphen dev hyphen ASG? So dollar, actually it is going to be is what all the variables we are parsing here. Go to the front end, click on edit, and you have variables coming up from this one. So for tf underscore var underscore component hyphen dollar tf underscore var underscore env hyphen asg. Okay, if you do this, that instance refresh will happen. That's it. And it applies to everything as well. Okay, so now your instance is updated, and it says that so the activity, so basically it launched successfully, or it launched a new instance, okay, at this time, and it's still waiting for it to come up. 5 minutes it is taking for the instance warm up coming up time. Okay, if you actually have a load balancer by this time, so the load balancer would have been become active. So front end, I think the targets will show inactive unused, but basically if it has been attached to any kind of auto scaling group, you would see that. Okay, so okay, you would see that working. Okay, all right, so that's how we can deal with the release management. Now there is a new version coming from the dev. Actually, you apply it in the environment, and probably so what we need to do is we need to promote it to the next environment. So the next sessions, like the next 2 sessions, probably what we'll try to do is we'll fix this particular more CI parts. In the CI we can put like more steps. Basically, you need to do some more activities on the CI side. Once you're done with the CI, so then what we are going to do is we just go with okay, so the whole deployment strategy happening in a proper way. Okay, so and that basically leads to the end of basically the DevOps on the server side, and then we'll move on to the container side. Okay, so yeah, right, so clear? Any questions? At least now the whole course, whatever you had done, so should be forming into pieces, right? So hope you are able to frame or look in those particular pieces. Until now we are actually trying to do bits and pieces. Now those pieces are actually should look like some structure, right? So that's what I would say, right? So yeah, yeah, any questions? Is it boring? Every day doing the same thing, same thing. Don't want to talk. No one want to talk anything? Say something.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, Raghu,
It's
from
okay.
my perspective, and I'm
Yeah.
kind of in the trying to, one second, maybe there's an echo. Just trying to pick up things because I'm running a little bit in the backlog of catching up.
Yeah.
But
That's
otherwise, I
okay.
mean, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Why? Because everyone is kind of working, have family, you need to adjust the timings, I know. But yeah, so but don't lose that discipline. So that's the major thing I would suggest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm in the Ansible area, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What
So,
else?
Raghu, I mean, in general, how much, in general, what is the time frame that we are left with now?
So I think yesterday I was seeing the sessions we have completed is 55. So the target is 70. So that means 15 more sessions most likely to come in. And so that's where like 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. If I keep it, at least if I leave you some Saturday, Sundays at least now, because I have some target date to be completed by 6th of March. Okay. So the next upcoming week, if I keep only like, upcoming 3 weeks, if I keep only 5 days, 5 days, 5 days, so then probably you'll also get some time for practice at the same time. So mostly we'll be in a time to complete by March 5th is the target date. Based on the, so that dates, I might go with one Saturday taking extra. That's what I'm planning actually, at least.
Mhm. And then regarding you mentioned that we will have access to the YouTube videos, but as we are going through, then we might have questions even after the session, after the coursework is over. Is it okay to reach out to you, or?
Yeah, yeah. Slack, you can always reach me, no problem.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. And also, if you have observed, actually, the YouTube in the YouTube, the last Saturday's video has been not available. Actually, it's been corrupted or it's been not given by GoToMeeting to me. I don't know what they. Yeah. So one video of last Saturday, so which is missing. If you have observed that, actually, 6th of February. Yeah, I don't know what we have done. I think we're mostly trying to do some kind of load testing only. So yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So see you in tomorrow's session then. Okay. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye. Good day. Goodbye.